Keisha. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It looks like everyone's just trickling in. Welcome, Larissa, Lisa, Crystal, and Amy, and iPhone.
Hi.
Hi. So I just want to ask where you guys are all from, because there's a couple of new faces as well. You can type in the chat below too. Crystal's from Southern California, just like me. Larissa's in Idaho. I've never met anyone in Idaho yet, but I heard it's very beautiful there. Wyoming. Ishita, am I saying that right? From Irvine, California. Shop in Minnesota. January, also from the Midwest. Hey, Ginger. In case you guys don't know, Ginger is an astrologer. So we are in the talks of doing possibly something in February together. So I'm excited.
And I'm in Denver. If we're
I'm
doing
sorry?
Are we doing a Where's Waldo? I'm in Denver.
Oh, yes. Yes. Where's Waldo? Oh, Larissa, I'm from San Francisco. Cheap housing. Yes. I'm sure it's a lot cheaper in Idaho than San Francisco. I've heard it's pretty ridiculous. And Davina in Arizona. So glad to see all you guys here. Also, I want to ask from like a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think you guys are with your intuition? Just you're like, it's not good, or midway, it's good, but I kind of doubt it, or like 10 where like I listen to it all the time and it's right. Davina.
8 out of 10.
Mm.
I don't listen to it sometimes.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
1, Ishita, it's okay. Like, I think part of it comes with experience, lots of lessons for us to get there for sure. 4, I see a 4. Davina, I'd still say I'm an 8 only because I doubt myself. Crystal, but full of doubt, so it comes down to 5. Okay. I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes for people to trickle in. But I'm really excited because later on there's like a exercise I'm gonna do with you guys, and I really want to see what comes up for you guys. And Davina, when you wrote whatever it is, it's yellow. Do you mean, are you talking about auras or? Welcome, Jay. All right. So I'm going to start. We have a lot of information to um, give to you, a lot of resources and stuff. Oh, okay, Devine, you said exercise and my brain said yellow. So I don't know. Okay. That might be a color that come up. Okay, let's see here. All right. I believe you guys can see the screen right there. So today we're going to talk all about intuition, how to connect to it, and listening to that inner voice, and how to get aligned with what's truly right for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you today how you can discover which type of abilities that you have. And by tonight, you'll be able to tap into it with no fancy tools needed. So stay with me till the end because there's going to be a huge early bird discount, as well as a palm reading mini guide, the fastest way to connect to your body and intuition. And yes, the shape of your hands can reveal which methods of grounding and creativity can flow best for you, believe it or not. So sit back and turn off all distractions, especially if you're multitasking, because the way you connect to your intuition is first by being truly present with it and giving it all your attention, right? So the first couple minutes, I'm going to be going over why intuition gets suppressed sometimes for a lot of us, how it shows up, and also why it's important to listen to it. So you might have come here tonight because you're curious in learning what intuition is, or maybe you're feeling hesitant about the decisions you've made in life lately, or you're just feeling a lot of self-doubt. And you might be feeling frustrated, or like there's just this constant push and pull in life, or this resistance, right? So, kind of like you've been working or trying hard, but things don't seem to work out or ever come to fruition. So, you might be saying to yourself, like, God, I'm trying so hard. I'm doing everything by the books and by the tips and tricks, but I'm not getting that job or fulfilling relationship or just like the fulfilling life that I want to have. Or you might feel unfulfilled. Like, how many of you guys want to pursue creative joys only to end up choosing a path that's like, yeah, it's an okay job, or just feels unfulfilled? Or you might think, like, is that all there is to it? There's got to be more to life than this, right? So you might ask, like, is it my intuition or is it just a coincidence? Or a lot of you, I'm sure, said, I knew I should have listened to my gut. Like you said earlier, when everyone was sharing, on a scale of 1 to 10, a lot of times it bumps back down because we don't trust it, right? Or maybe you feel like you're exhausted, or you're an empath, you're sensitive, or you want to trust your intuition, but that logic part of your brain keeps kicking back in, right? Or you have a weird spiritual paranormal experience, but you're afraid people around you might judge you for whatever you have to say. So I used to be there too. And I'm going to promise you, you won't be stuck there. It is possible to get out of that rut and cycle of feeling doubtful, or that life or things, universe isn't working out for you. And it is possible to create a new path for yourself by listening to that inner voice, even when your brain's like, what the hell are you doing? Don't do that. It doesn't make sense to do that. Your intuition, it's a natural ability, but it's more of how can you grow and strengthen it, right? So here's a little bit of me. And it's my journey that you'll see of paving new paths for myself. We're all growing. And what I was listening to back then, I didn't realize was my intuition. So this photo was back when after I graduated college, I didn't want to settle down, commit myself, even though I'm a planner, I didn't want to commit myself to a full-time career. And there's something in me that just kept thinking, like, I don't know, I just can't commit. Like, even though you're a broke college student graduate, you want to get into a job and have money, there's just like something else, right? So back then, no one in my group of friends or network traveled internationally. It wasn't cool, or it wasn't seen as something safe to do yet. I even remember people telling me I was going to ruin my resume and career by traveling for a few months to Europe. Or, oh, and also my parents, we paid for your education just for you to go have fun. But there was still something in me that was just curious about what was out there. And 3 months in Europe eventually turned into 2 years of backpacking, believe it or not. And it was just a fulfilling experience to this day that feels like just feeds my soul, resets the body, and also allowed me to learn more about humanity in general and everyone. But imagine if I didn't listen and instead I just went off what other people said, right? So in this photo here, this is when I was laid off from NBC and then I went to survival mode. Totally did not listen to my intuition because survival mode took over and I just took whatever job I could. So I took that one job that got back to me at Disney Studios, which is where you see I'm sitting right now. And I ignored all the red flags that my intuition was telling me when I was going for a job interview. I took the job. It was awful. I was bullied, totally hit rock bottom, and my health took a huge toll. And it's one of the biggest regrets I have. So, but today I'm on my own, able to work on creative outlets like wedding planning, creating a loving community, and connecting others here at the Happy Healing Shop. And also being able to set my own schedule as a night owl. Like most jobs won't have that night owl shift, right? And a few months ago, back in November, I was flown to Denver to help also a client to build up her spiritual business, which is a lot more fulfilling than sitting back at Disney. So today I'm going to talk about ways your intuition gets suppressed, why it's important to listen to it, the 6 types there are, the ways it shows up for you, like real life stories, and also this exercise and how to connect to it, and then how to work with me if you want to further deepen it, and also a live Q&A at the end. So 3 ways your intuition gets suppressed is family, upbringing, society, right? We all have intuition. We're all born with it. And we can connect it more so as kids, but because of our parents, family, society, it gets shut down pretty quickly. And it might be seen as irrational way of thinking, or perhaps if you grew up in a religion like mine, then like I grew up Catholic, it played a factor in it and instilled fear. So you might have grown up like me with a scarcity mindset, right? I grew up in a low income immigrant Vietnamese household, and I learned over time as an adult that my parents actually didn't want success for me. They thought that's what they said, but they wanted stability, go for careers that have jobs that have stable, like good benefits, like government positions, doctors, lawyers. So as a kid, even if something had the potential to bring joy, like acting, that's something I was into as a kid, I didn't even consider it at all. I never went for things that could have brought me joy and fulfillment. And I know many of you guys have felt the same way. And your intuition might be suppressed because of feeling obligation. So, like, how many of you guys have gone to parties, family gatherings, holidays where you knew you would not enjoy it? I did. This past Thanksgiving, I went because of the thought of hearing people say, oh, you should go because the holidays are a time to spend with family, right? So another way it gets suppresses intuition when it comes to decision making. Many people resort to what makes sense, what's logical. That's what people tell us to do. But if you think about it, in reality, this logic is another way of saying, like, hey, let's play it safe. Or some of you guys I know have been scoffed at when people say, oh, so you're doing this based off of a gut feeling. So I want to know down in the chat how your intuition was suppressed, or by whose voice that was influencing you.
Is this interactive? Do you want us to answer that?
Yeah, you can do that. Or in the chat, whoever's shy, you can totally share.
So I actually have a funny story that I think is really super related to this and also timely in our current events. I interviewed for a job I thought was my dream job last year. It was everything I had been looking for. It was full-time remote. It was way more money. It was a huge signing bonus. And it really seemed like a really great creative team. It was using what I was already doing, but expanding on that. And I got the offer letter. I accepted the offer, but the HR department couldn't verify my high school graduation, which was 30 years ago, and kept moving my start date. And I finally got so frustrated, I rescinded my acceptance and said, I'm going to stay right where I'm at. Well, guess who just laid off 12,000 people a couple days ago?
Ooh.
And I would have been one of them.
Wow.
So I had this real moment because I had been feeling so bitter and so jilted for the last 10 months or so over this missed opportunity when really I was being protected because I didn't listen to my own intuition. So anyway, I thought I would share that story because I was just sort of like half laughing, half shocked all weekend over all these layoffs because it was a subsidiary of the Alphabet company. And when I looked it up, they had laid off 15% of their staff, including the department I would have been working for. So anyway,
Wow.
isn't that
No,
crazy?
great story. I mean, that's really how it is. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we don't
If you ignore your intuition, sometimes the universe will override you and make
exactly.
things happen. And so that was the case because I wouldn't listen. I was really stubborn about this is what I wanted. And anyway,
And
so
they're like,
I
we need
thought
to
I would
send
share
her.
that.
Yeah, we need to send her more red flags.
Right?
So really glad that that worked out for you. That good thing it did. Um, and yeah, I think a lot of us could relate to jobs, especially when it's like what Ginger just said here. Everything you said looks so good on paper. The benefits, the sign up bonus, like not every place offers that. So really glad that you listened for sure. Larissa here says religion. Yeah. January says by family. Can definitely relate. Um, Amy, peers suppressed mine. That's interesting. Because obviously friends might be different, but peers might be a different story as well. Micah, strict religion and family. Davina, religion as well. We were taught everything was demons. Ishita is family as well as self-doubt, mental health issues. That is, you know, things can pile up on each other for sure, making it more difficult to listen to that voice. Yep, Amy, overthinking on my part. I think I'm sure everyone in this group can relate to that for sure. Lack of trust in my own body. Crystal says that. Yeah. Jay, some family and long life friends. Yeah, that can be hard because sometimes you think friends would be the one that's actually helping you. And Shaw, basically being taught I can't trust myself. That can do a great deal for sure. And then Micah, religion taught it was not good to pursue college or any career other than something that most time spent devoted to religion. Micah, I understand that. My parents are fine if I quit and become a nun. No joke. Give up my college degree and everything, become a nun. Family negativity, thought I couldn't pursue entertainment industry, wanting to be an actress or produce. Yes. And then Crystal, I didn't want to be seen as crazy. Yeah, thank you everyone for sharing. It feels a lot less alone, doesn't it? So I'm going to just head on over to why it's important to listen to your intuition, because at the end of the day, only you know what's best for you, right? And okay, you guys know how I regret taking that job at Disney. So I'd like for you guys to type in the chat box just a little story time or like a little blurb about when you regretted or kicked yourself for not listening to your intuition. And also, when you're making that decision, whose voice were you listening to? Was it your parents, influence from society? So as I'm waiting for if any of you guys are typing in stories down there in the chat box, I'm going to talk and cover a little bit about how we can use intuition to our advantage. So a lot of you guys might in this group might be feeling sensitive or you're an empath. And a lot of times I do hear like, oh, I feel like it's a burden, right? I feel like I just can't go anywhere without feeling bogged down. And it's not a burden, but it might feel like a burden, right? But if you learn to own it, you can feel more confident, empowered, and things will eventually become clear for you. right? And having a strong sense of intuition can help you set those boundaries and take control of your life because, when you see clearly what's not meant for you, it's easier to say, no, no more of this. And making decisions that are aligned with you despite of what people think. So when people are projecting their shit on you, you're able to say, this is right for me, even if it doesn't make sense to you. Again, let me say that again. This is what's right for me, even if that doesn't make sense to you. Okay, I'm gonna look at the chat box here, and there's people that have a lot of stories. Davina said the first time I moved out, my gut said it's a mistake. Ooh, but my boyfriend at the time was very manipulative, so I moved in with him, and I struggled financially for years after that. Larissa said, I planned our whole wedding knowing I didn't want one. It was canceled because of COVID. I felt so much relief. Like that universe kind of helped you right there as well. Ginger, I recently made it a goal to come to create a spiritual community where I live. It's awesome. And tend to take people at face value. Yes. A couple of times I ignored that gut feeling that someone was off. And I'm sure it's because a lot of us want to feel benefited to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? And they had it confirmed and wish I had given more credit to my intuition to begin with, because it would have saved a lot of time and Ginger, I'm sure a lot of pain as well. Amy, my recent ex, my intuition was telling me for a long time it wasn't a good match. It took over 8 months for it to finally come to an end. And Jay, several times when I was younger and had a bad feeling about going out with friends, they all tried to say I was paranoid until something bad happened while we were out. Oh, that is really hard because when people ask, like, why are you feeling this way? There's no reason to. It's really hard to show people and to say, like, it's based off my gut feeling, right? And Micah said, didn't listen to intuition to keep trying to pursue working in the entertainment industry because of fear instilled with me from family and past abuse. I listened to fear and thinking I couldn't make it in life doing something I loved. Oh my God, yes. I think a lot of artists and creatives can feel that too. The lack of support, right? In January, I had a vision one day that I was going to break my foot if I did this one activity. While I was on the way to the activity, that vision came. And when I did the activity, I broke my foot. Oh, what a premonition right there. I ignored it completely. Okay. And it's hard because sometimes when you have like a bad dream, you think like, is my subconscious just stressed? Am I just stressed or is it actually showing me something, right? So Crystal said, I usually have these with people. Some people have a really bad vibe and the back of neck hair rises. Yeah, but I am an extrovert, so the party must go on. And I've always regretted it. But since the pandemic, I have been a homebody and has opened a lot of reconnection time with actual friends. So good to hear that. Um, and Jay, then my friends would say I jinxed our outing and made bad stuff happen. Oh, I can see how they're trying to flip it on you. Mm. Those are a lot of good stories, guys. Thanks for taking the time to type all that out too. So, more ways that intuition, listening to that can help you guys. You get clarity, guidance, and direction. Like, look, you don't have to be a healer to be intuitive. As you guys can see, intuitive is helpful in everyday life or at work. So, it is important to learn to trust it and coming back in alignment with your true self. When you trust in your truth and inner knowingness, you show up in life differently. So you might be wondering, like, what are some real examples of how it can help? So it could be like a parent. You might hear it as mother or father's intuition, like a parent that knows exactly what their kid needs, but it's just instead of like what everyone else is telling them to do, right? Like, oh, well, this worked with my baby and that. And it could be a teacher that can tell something is going on with their student, even if they didn't say anything, or a spiritual healer or therapist who can read the energy of their client, or even a detective that can read people well and read between the lines of what's not being said. And here, Marie Forleo, I love it. She says it best, where you were born with everything you need to answer the call of your soul. So that brings us to, so which type of intuition do you have? There are 6 types, and I do have a free "Which type of intuition do you have?" quiz that I'll include in the chat box afterwards. And the quiz has been helpful for a lot of people because they didn't realize how their intuition showed up in different ways. And everyone is different. Okay. So some people have a mix, some people have all, some people have one, which is totally fine. I think half the part is not judging yourself for it or comparing yourself, which is really hard not to do when you see someone else that's levels ahead of you, right? We all have our own pace and journey. So, next, I'm going to dive into each of them here a little bit. And as a disclaimer, always make sure you get any health issues checked out first by a health professional. So, you might be clairaliant or clairgustant. So, for example, that might show up as maybe your grandma passed away, but out of nowhere, you may smell or taste her onion veggie casserole, or you might smell a cigar perfume from a loved one, which I hear a lot of comments on that as well. And claircognizance and clairaudient, I put them here together because sometimes they can overlap. So claircognizance could be like a download, like getting information or answers out of nowhere, or you might experience it as just like, I don't know, I just know it's not going to work out, um, or I just know it's going to be okay. I just know, I just know. You might get ideas or like answers or aha moments when you're doing things like driving, washing the dishes, or for a lot of you guys, I'm sure, taking a shower. And the clear audience hearing. Now, this one, it can show up as a word or a phrase out of nowhere, like sometimes not literally in your ear, but in your head. And that's where I say claircognizance and clairaudience can kind of overlap. But I'm going to show you just a few minutes of real life scenario about it. And then you'll go like, ah, I get it. And then there's clairvoyance. So some of you might get images, mental videos, or like what you said earlier about the flashback of breaking your foot right there. So that might be a mental video there, or numbers, symbols, flashes. Could be orbs or colors, like inside your mind's eye, or even out of the corner of your own physical eye, right? And clairsentience here, this one, I think a lot of you guys, you were saying, you guys were showing in the chat right here, you can feel the emotions or anxiousness or sadness, to the point where you might think it might be your own, but it's not. Or you thought about someone or a friend and you could feel what they were feeling. Or you felt physical sensations in your body. And it could be like, again, that stomach feeling twisted, gut punch, feeling sick, or Ginger, what you said, feeling off, like nauseous, just when something doesn't feel right. Or for me, like me, you might feel contraction in your chest. So I'd love for you guys to chat down out of those six. Which intuitive abilities have you guys experienced, or do you guys resonate with, or you're like, oh, hey, yeah, that's me. Crystal here says, in my house, I can smell cigarettes from my grandma who passed away when I was little. Yeah, and usually these are smells that are out of nowhere. It's not like someone is outside in your front yard smoking. It's like it's just out of nowhere. Davina, all but mostly just knowing and seeing. That's right. I remember you saying you get a lot. It's a download. And Jay, all of them. January, clairvoyant, all knowing and feeling. Ishida is claircognizance, clairsentience. So that's a knowing and feeling. Yeah. Yeah, let's hello. I've experienced all, but I'm more empathetic for sure. So I have to spend a lot of time alone. So yeah, that sounds a lot like clairsentience. Larissa, feeling. Amy, knowing, hearing, and feeling. Yep. Crystal, my partner, has the feeling one. Her chest would tighten when things feel off. Oh, she's here too. So, welcome. And it's hard because sometimes you wonder if the chest tightens when is that something feeling off or is that stress, right? So, Ginger, I have most of these. And fun fact, my last name has the word Claire in it. Micah, clairsentience feeling for sure, mostly, but some of the rest as well. Shaw, claircognizance the most. That's probably why you can tell the ending of movies. So Shaw here is part of our membership, and he talks about how watching a movie and in the beginning you can just already tell how it's going to unfold. All right, so these are some real life examples of how intuition shows up, right? So this one is my story of claircognizance and how it appeared. And it was 3 a.m. I was working away in the night on stuff for the Happy Healing Shop, and a thought came across my head. It was just, hey, I haven't talked to Mary in a while. Maybe text and reach out to her. So this kind of felt like it was coming out of left field because at them, because sometimes I feel like people will say, like, oh, well, your mind just thinks about people, right? But this one felt like it was coming out left field because at that moment I was so focused on doing my work on my computer, and so normally I would go like, I'm too busy. I'll reach out to her next week. So that's usually our human side, I guess. But listening to intuition, it's a bit different. So what it just something prompted me to go like, you know what? I'll shoot my friend a text. Turns out her cat had cancer and had to be put down the next day. So intuition doesn't always have to be a warning signal. It can come as like, hey, your friend could use some really a lot of help and support right now type of signal. Audience. So I was mentioning earlier this story. I have a story for you guys. So this is a good one. This happened to my former colleague Sandy, and she was walking on the street one day, and at the traffic lights, the walking man sign turned on. So she had the signal to cross the street as a pedestrian. And right before she was about to cross the street, she heard a voice just that said, "Stop." And she looked around, but there's no one there. So she was completely alone, right? It wasn't someone nearby. And then a semi truck flew past her running a red light, and he didn't realize it. He looked at her. The driver looked at her with his mouth open, being like, "Oh my gosh, I almost killed you," right? So if she had crossed the street and didn't listen to that voice that said stop, she would have been dead. And I remember asking her at work, saying like, "Oh, what was the volume, the tone of the voice that she heard?" And she said it was calm, like nothing crazy. It sounded literally like stop, just like that. And here is another story. This clairsentience, which it looks like a lot of you guys have here. Um, One day, my friend Victoria had a feeling of needing to call her brother because something felt wrong, and her brother popped into her head, and so she called him, and it wound up he was crying, really upset, and not doing mentally well, and needed support. So, like in the comments, you guys just mentioned, a lot of times you guys have felt something that was off. So, definitely a lot of clairsentient people here. And just remember, intuition is like a calm, quiet friend, just like my colleague Sandy. It doesn't yell, "Stop! What are you doing?" It's more of just stop. So that calm, quiet friend wants to help you, make the best decisions for yourself and your highest good. And it's in all areas of your life, including love, health, and your purpose here on earth. And that's how you can know if it's between fear versus is my intuition speaking, right? So, okay, this is the part where we're going to connect to your intuition. And I'm going to ask you for sure to stop multitasking and turning off all distractions because we're going to get into like a quiet place. Okay. So I'll just give you guys a few seconds here to get settled if you need to. And you can just get seated in a comfortable position. Okay, now that you are seated and comfortable, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And let's take a deep breath in and exhale with an audible sigh. Again, deep, slow breath in through your nose. And exhale. And as you breathe, with every exhale, allow the weight of your body to release and sink towards the ground. Notice the body parts and the sensations you're feeling at the moment: the face, the shoulders, your chest, your arms, down to your hands, down to your stomach, the hips, the legs, breathing in and out. And as you exhale, relax your forehead, your eyes, your jaw, where it may be tight, softening the chest, softening your shoulders, your hands. Let's take another deep breath in and out. And when you exhale, imagine breathing out any energy that's been lingering on you. Breathing in, expanding your belly, and exhale, cleansing your energy, imagining your aura and the energy around you turning into a soft white color. And as you take your next deep breath in, imagine everything you're thinking about or seeing in your mind is starting to fade into white. A new place appears. It's a little sanctuary like space for you. What does it look like? It could be a cave, a spot on the beach, a chair by the lake, or even a room with cozy furniture and essential oils. Imagine yourself in this space, and gentle roots coming out of your feet, connecting with the earth beneath you. The roots releasing energy down into the earth. Your body feeling rooted, feeling stable and grounded. Feel connected with the space you created for yourself. Take a deep breath in and out. Now I want you to set the intention and ask your body, your intuition, to be a compass and guide for you right now. Be with me, guide me, be with me, help me, protect me, help guide me right now. Show me what a no looks like. Show me what it feels or looks like when something is not meant for me, when something is not aligned for me. When something is not for my highest good. Now, I want you to imagine a person, event, or scenario that you didn't like, barging into your sanctuary space unannounced, taking up all your space. Feel, feel the emotions that are coming up, the sensations. What parts of your body are being activated? And what parts of your body are contracting? Now imagine snapping your fingers and making them dissipate into thin air. Keep breathing with me in and out. Take another breath in and out, removing any dead energy, cleansing your energy again, making it turn back into that soft white glow. I want to remind you that you are grounded and rooted to the earth energy still. Now ask your body and intuition to be with me, guide me, be with me, guide me right now. Show me what a yes looks like. Show me what it feels or looks like when something is meant for me, when something is aligned for me, and when something is for my highest good. Next, I want you to imagine a place, an event, a scenario, or even a photo that when you think about it, you can't help but smile. It's a time where everything felt so right, joyful, yet grounded. A time where you felt it was okay to be you. Imagine it gently coming and visiting you in your sanctuary space. And it sits there with you, and you're just looking at it, admiring it, reminiscing on it. Feel the emotions coming up, the sensations, and what parts of your body are lighting up, are pulsing, or tingling. Now imagine gently snapping your fingers and making it disappear. Thank you, intuition. Thank you, body, for helping me, for guiding me, and for showing me. Let's take a deep breath in and out. The roots underneath you are gently retracting from Mother Earth and entering back into the soles of your feet. And as you take another deep breath in, imagine you are leaving your little intuition sanctuary space. Imagine everything fading to the background. Take a deep breath in and out. Taking your time to gently and slowly come back here to the present with me. Feeling the surface beneath you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I'd love to hear what came up for you all, what you experienced, what you felt, or sensations you might have gotten. Davina wrote, when it was a no, my stomach cramped and I got goosebumps. I'm going to ask you, Davina, when it was a cramp, was it a specific cramp? Like at certain sides, parts of your stomach, or a distinct, sharp, or dull pain compared to, let's say, a period cramp? Yeah, I was super tense when it wasn't for my highest good, and a part of my muscle, my neck started twitching, which is very new. All right. Davina, it was right in the middle, that gut. Uh, it was right in the middle underneath my sternum. Mm. And like knots in your stomach. Okay. Pamela, I just felt peaceful throughout. Pamela, did anything come up for you when there was the no section? Just curious. And it's fine if it wasn't. Everyone's different. Yulitza, I got knots in my stomach too and felt sick. Ooh. Davina, when it was a yes, it felt like the sun was in my chest. Okay. Oh. And Crystal, when I asked to show me a no, my hands and feet went cold, my jaw tightened. And when it was a yes, I couldn't stop smiling and feeling a pull towards a good yes from my stomach, like a string pulling. That's awesome. And Pamela, no, not really. Everything else, the whole meditation was peaceful. And that's totally fine. You know, I don't want you, if that's for anyone else that feels that way, like I don't want you to judge it. This is more of an exercise. Jay, the same feeling I always get with a yes. My left ear warms up, and with no, I got tightness in my neck and my forehead twitched. And that's great because sometimes the tightness in the neck and forehead twitch, we might think that's stress, but a lot of times it's intuition being like, no, that's me talking. So I'm glad you were able to pick up on that. Micah, during no, my jaw tightened, chest tightened, shoulders got tight. I know I remember you telling me before your shoulders get tight. Yeah. And raised hairs on the back of my neck. Oh, Pamela, when it was a yes, a person I am dating appeared. In January, when I saw a no, I saw a dark color. My chest tightened, my gut pulsated, and I felt fear and anxiety. My breath shortened. And then when I saw yes, I felt excited, joyful. My body got hot, felt opened, and the color I saw was yellow. That's funny because Davina even mentioned yellow in the beginning of this masterclass before we even started. So that was interesting. For Shaw, no is very twitchy and stabbing pain in my right pec. Oh, and then yes is full body tingles, super strong in my face, especially around my nose. Love it. Love it. And Micah, when it was a yes, my heart felt peaceful and soothing. Yes. Felt emotional but happy. The ears were warm, tingling, but not uncomfortable. Wow. Amazing. Jay, your voice is very calming, Trang. Yes, when I switched to meditation voice, I've been told that too. And podcast voice. People have told me that too. And Nishita, when it was a no, my hands and feet went numb. Breathing got heavier, like, oh, I'm sorry, like a mini panic attack. I'm sorry. And yes, it felt like a feeling, for the yes, it felt like a feeling of warmth in my heart and smelled like a fragrant breeze. I love that. Yali, Yalitza, when it was a yes, I felt like I was in love. And Krista, oh, thank you on saying that my voice can hypnotize you and makes you feel safe. I'm glad. Oh, thanks, Micah. And oh, yes, I would love to hear what your safe space, what your sanctuary looked like, what you guys came up with and imagined. So, Crystal, my safe space turned out to be a fort of couch pillows with twinkle lights. I love twinkle lights, Crystal. So, like, I'm with you on that. It just makes everything feel very inviting. That's why I chose this candle background that you see right now, because I felt like it just feels cozy and warm for this meditation and exercise. Pamela said a tree bed of flowers with little birds. I love that. It's like it reminds me of spring outside in nature. In January, safe space was in the forest with a white bench and rich green grass and vibrant flowers. Ishita says my safe space was like a forest with tree canopy at the top. Lots of outdoor nature. Because for me, I totally just thought of a nice bedroom. um, Ishita, safe space was okay. Yes, yes, I see. Oh, Yulitza, my safe space was you, me, and Trang as Maria and Deontay sitting on huge rocks. So Deontay's someone in our TikTok community as well. I talked to Deontay about this about a year ago, and we found the same safe space. Wow. I'm assuming it's like huge rocks, maybe overlooking like a good part of the world. Micah, safe space was a spot on the beach. Everything was sparkling all around, and light hit the ocean. It was glistening. Oh, it's like a bougie. It sounds like a bougie beach. Comfy pillowish chairs and lots of pillows. And Crystal saying there's a moment, Trang, that you said you're grounded. And I took off one slipper and touched my floor at my house and instantly felt vibrations. It's crazy. And goosebumps. Amy said, sitting on a pier with a calm lake with a sunset. Oh, sounds like a vacation right there. Tavina is a tiny cabin in the middle of a clearing with trees all around. Jay is, a crystal cave on the beach with fluffy, comfortable bedding and scented candles. It's nice. And Shaw, the door to my safe space was like a huge terrarium that I climbed into, and it led to a dark cave with bioluminescent bacteria or something in the water. It's funny, I'm thinking Avatar right now, actually. And when I dove, I was suddenly in the middle of the ocean. As it went on, I flowed to the top until I was floating on the surface and it was raining gently. Wow. That's pretty trippy. Jay, Avatar, yeah. Hey, feel free to keep commenting, guys. But I'm happy now that you have a helpful tool. You can experience now you know what a yes and no looks like for you, right? And sometimes that's kind of really important. And yes, we can use crystals, pendulums, all that kind of stuff. But sometimes what if we don't have that, Like we're in the middle of nowhere and we really have to figure out what is a yes and no. So hope you found that really helpful. And now that you experience how intuition can work in your life, and especially with no distractions now, and you can pinpoint, hey, this is a gut feeling, but it was very distinct or very distinct sensation. So I want to ask you guys, do you finally want to stop looking to other people, family, friends, society, peers, other influences outside of yourself for answers and start looking within to live a life that finally actually truly feels like yours? And so you can keep doing what you've been doing and feel resistance in life, just continuing to self doubt yourself, like we said in the beginning of Zoom, how much we doubt our intuition. Or you can trust and connect to your high power, feel empowered, and show up differently. So I'm really excited to announce that I have launched the Develop and Strengthen Your Intuition live program. So in this program, you're going to learn how to trust yourself and gain confidence in your life decisions, deepen your connection with yourself, and learn to quiet that chatter in your mind. And also you can see and learn if it's fear or it's your logical mind or your intuition is talking. And also part of intuition is unlocking and enhancing our imagination, right? Because it's been suppressed in our creativity. So, and also releasing the self-doubt that we mentioned earlier and emotional blockages that come up. And also, more importantly, be in alignment with yourself so you can make the decisions that are best for you and learning how to trust the information that you guys receive. So intuition takes practice. You guys know that to harness it. But I mean, if you think about where the heck do you find opportunities to practice on other people, right? So this is why you'll get 12 weeks of live support and guidance. And it's going to be an opportunity to practice with others in our virtual class to develop, and nurture your gifts in a really safe, non-judgmental learning space. If you are new today and you don't know what the Happy Healing Shop is about, everyone in our community has been absolutely lovely, kind, and welcoming. You guys can see it in the chat box yourself. And that's why I love what I do, because of the people at the end of the day. And also, you'll get our Develop Your Intuition online course, and that comes with a lifetime access with over 6 hours of video content, journal prompts, and a bunch of intuition exercises. So it's kind of like you get the online course, but you also have a chance and opportunity to practice and practice and practice. And also, you get bonus access to our healing community and membership for the next 12 weeks duration of the program. And Shaw and also Davina, they're in the community as well. So just shout out to them. And it includes healing workshops, Reiki energy events, meditation behind the scenes, and more. And also, you get our digital copy of the Shadow Work Self-Healing Journal to go through any fears or self-doubt that came up for you, especially when you were younger. So you guys might be thinking like, nah, I'm not special. I don't know, I'm not that intuitive. But remember, it's a muscle that just needs to be flexed, and we are all born with it. Everyone has different levels of sensitivity, and that's okay. And everyone has unique gifts and they might manifest differently from someone else's. And that's okay. That's beautiful. That's what makes us unique. And over time, with practice again, just like any ability, you can hone them. So I'm throwing in also a bonus guide meditation to help ground yourself and your energy, opening up your intuition, allowing it to flow more freely. And there's also going to be a group breath work and Reiki session to release any stuck energy that may be holding you back. So, with all this, the live coaching and practice, the online intuition course, and the 3 bonuses, that's total value of over $3,000. And oh yeah, don't forget, you also get the palm reading mini guide, so which is really fascinating. So all this for over 3,000. Instead, you'll be getting it instead for 1,500. And we also offer payment plans as well. But even better, I'm offering this huge early bird discount. So if you book within the next 48 hours, you will get 300. That's $300 off the program. And so that comes out to $1,200. And again, payment plans are available. And so when you visit thehappyhealingshop.com/intuition, this is what you'll see. And when you click through and hit join, it'll take you to the sign up page. And so just want to look again at why you came out tonight and why you're here. And it could be you're feeling curious or just self doubt, stuck in a rut, frustrated, just trying so hard and nothing seems to work out. Um, or again, like what you guys said earlier, you have these situations where you could trust it, but you're like, you know what, no, or like your friends are like, what are you talking about? Just it's fine, and then you just don't listen to it, right? And then just kick yourself in the butt. Or you just feel unfulfilled and realize that something in life just needs to change. So you might be wondering, how do I know if this program is right for me? What if I suck at it? And the thing is, messages you get are usually subtle at first. You kind of saw it today in the exercise that we did. And it can be difficult to distinguish between messages you get or your own thoughts, or sometimes the message is just a feeling and it's just a symbol, a word. And the thing is, you just have to, in the beginning, learn not to judge it, no matter how faint or small it might be or subtle it might be, right? So it's more about not so more of like, what message are you getting? Which is sometimes what we put the pressure on ourselves for. But it's more about learning to be patient and tune into things that are very subtle, especially when our environment is loud. So again, it takes patience and practice, but this is what the live program will allow you to do. So you're probably wondering, like, who's this program best for? It's for anyone. It's like your average Joe. It's for the average Joe schmoes that think they're okay, but we're all gifted, right? You don't have to be psychic or in order to join this program. This is for anyone at any level who's open-minded and wants to grow and develop their intuition. It is a 12-week program where we meet once a week. And if you can't make it one day, that's okay, because all the calls will be recorded and you'll have a lifetime access to them. And you can refer back to them whenever you need to. So I don't want you guys to feel like, oh God, I'm falling behind. It's fine. And as you saw, we do offer a payment plan. And look, I've been there. I grew up poor. Or low income, and I've been hesitant to sign up for programs or anything due to money a lot in my life. But I realized that whenever I did invest in myself and just took the leap, even though it did not make sense, it always came back in tenfold, right? So I don't want money to be the factor, like that one factor that's holding you back. So again, you can make a full payment, you can make a 3 monthly payments, but also if you need a 12-month payment plan due to your financial situation, just shoot me a message or email me, and we can discuss. What else do you need to buy to see success or anything like that? You just need a notebook and pen, and that's it for this. And a computer or smartphone with internet, whatever you're watching this webinar on is like totally fine. And yes, you do get lifetime access. The weekly sessions, again, will be placed online. They'll be recorded in the course platform, and so it can be available for you whenever. And again, the online course is lifetime access too, so you can go at your own pace this way as well and go back to it whenever you need to. Do I have to buy it now? So I just want to remind you that the early bird discount for $300 off the program expires in 48 hours, but the last day to sign up or when the cart officially closes is in 7 days, which is next Tuesday, the last day of January. And then will you be able to ask questions outside of the meetings that we have? Yes, of course. You can shoot me and email me anytime. I want to make sure you get the support you need, because I've been in programs before where they just drop you and that's it. and it wasn't a great feeling. So I never want anyone to feel that way. So, here, Tara writes about her experience with a Happy Healing Shop. Worth it. The Happy Healing Shop is a business I trust. I've been satisfied with every part of my journey here, from receiving timely emails back to experiencing deep healing during my session. If you're skeptical, apprehensive to spend the money, or unsure if this is the right place for you, then I encourage you to follow the instinct that led you here. At least I'm very glad that I did. Aileen writes, I love the Happy Healing Shop. Thank you. The community and safe space they create are beautiful. I always greatly benefit from participating in anything they put out. So, if you are ready to connect to your higher power and take control of your life, feel empowered and being aligned with your true self, head on over to the happyhealingshop.com/intuition. Again, that's the happyhealingshop.com/intuition. And I'm going to hop back on to answer any questions that you might have that I didn't answer yet, or even just want to discuss anything. I'm going to catch up on the chat box too. Oh, and let me write the links here. So yeah, I include the links, that free intuition quiz you have, but I think you guys get that already as part of your being as part of the newsletter. But it's a pretty fun quiz. Eye-opening for a lot of people as well. Oh, and Davina, I think she's saying totally worth it for the membership. Yeah, the membership is $27 now a month. So that's also on our website, thehappyhealingshop.com. But with the program, it comes in for free. And if you're not sure whether this program is right for you at this stage in your life, and you're just like, I'm not sure, but I just have a couple questions too and want to talk about it like separately, there's a link there to hop on a free 20-minute discovery call with me. Oh, Yulitsa, thank you for saying everyone here. The community has been great. I've been coming back for about a year, maybe. So trying so great, and so is everyone I meet. Thank you. Oh, and then also next week, we have the Happy Healing Hour. And it's kind of like a happy hour where it's like this, where we all talk together and stuff like that. Some of it is just talking about our lives, catching up, and like supporting other people that might be going through a difficult time, or even like a funny, or a lot of times it is jokes. Davina and Shaw, you can ask them. And sometimes we talk about spiritual stuff, sometimes we don't. So, but it ends up, it's one of my favorite events because I think that's where you see a lot of connection happening. So I love even reading today, the chat box. There's like so much chatting in the Zoom box, which is like, I love it. So Crystal, for Maria, she is continuing on with, so we split after in December. She's continuing on with her just daytime job, and that's it. So so it's just me, and let me read the Rex. I was thinking go home. I felt TikTok and Happy Healing Shop 7. I'm trying to interpret your tech, your what you wrote. I think there's some typos, so I'm trying to interpret it. Saw this event this evening. I felt TikTok. Sorry, could you clarify? Oh, I saw that this event was tonight, and that was a sign. Yeah. So no, it's just her. So yeah, she's focusing just on her day job and also like health issues as well. So it's just me taking over Happy Healing Shop now. Oh, here, I'll include January. The email is info@thehappyhealingshop.com. There you go. It was on the slide, but I kind of turned that off already. And I'm going to paste the link for the 20-minute discovery call. So let me see here. Today is Tuesday. So yeah, next Monday is going to be the Happy Healing hour. So sometimes there's a theme for it, but sometimes it's more like, oh, I like what Yelitsa said. It's like a check-in with people in the community. So But you guys are if you guys are attending this event, you guys are on our newsletter. And so you're going to get an email, me announcing, being like, reminder, tomorrow or Monday is going to be our happy hour. So make sure you come on out. Oh, thanks, Crystal. Yeah, it's been a journey. Just kind of like thinking about Happy Healing Shop, what it looks like with just trying now and trying to figure it all kind of like by myself and figuring out like what it could look like, you know. So and the last month was tough in terms of just trying to figure out when I've always been kind of more behind the scenes type of person. So thank you for that. And yeah, there's gonna be more workshops like this. Still planning for next month might be Ginger, who's an astrologer, was kind of brainstorming about ideas like Venus sign, Valentine's Day, February, and what that means. And it's great because I don't know an astrologer yet. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Yali. Yeah, I think so too, Crystal. The universe wanting to trust yourself more, even like stepping into my own power, where in a way like finding my voice. And this is what I love about the community. You guys are so supportive, just not with me, but of each other as well. Yulitza, it's time for you to shine. Okay, so I hope you guys come out to the happy hour event next week. It's fun like this and everyone just talks. Some people listen and that's totally fine too. So really fun event. Ooh, Ginger, Uranus going to go direct in Taurus. Big things are coming. Love it. Okay. Well, thank you, friends. Thank you so much for coming out, for supporting. And yes, I just hope to see you guys next week. I miss you guys a lot because I didn't have any events going on the past 2 weeks. So thank you. Have a good night, everyone.